I'm
Let's
excited to
see.
welcome on a rising prospect in 2022 and Kyle Hicks. What's going on today, bro? Of
Nothing. Thanks for having me, though.
course, man. Well, let's just get started. You're part of 2022, which means coaches start calling you about a little bit over a week ago. I know you've been busy getting a lot of offers, a lot of calls. What's this process been like?
It's been exciting, seeing all these colleges that you dreamt of going to. I know a couple of schools that I've always wanted to go to, and I'm hearing from them, and it's just something that's really exciting to me and definitely my family. So,
And let's just talk about some of your offers. I mean, you have school at UMass, Rhode Island, Bryant, Rutgers. What are the relationship with some of those schools that have offered you right now?
so I would say with Rutgers, I just got that offer maybe a week ago.
Mhm.
But so far, the relationship, the coach has a great relationship with my father. So I would say before they even offered me, they've also been contacting me through my coaches and stuff like that. So they've always showed some bit of interest. So I would say the relationship between me and Rutgers is pretty good right now. I talk to the assistant coach, Carl Hobbs, all the time. He's a great coach. He actually went to school with my father. So I would say the relationship with Rutgers is really good. UMass, University of Rhode Island, they're also great. They stay in contact. And Bryant also recently contacted me. So I would say the relationship with all my offers right now are pretty good, pretty level even. So I would say, yeah.
I want to talk a little bit more about Rutgers. I mean, that's a school that I think a lot of guys, especially on the East Coast, are a lot more appealed to. They've always
Yep.
been obviously a bigger school, but because of Cliff obviously landing there, they get a guy that's a top 50 kind of talent. How much more appealing is it that you see a guy like of Cliff's caliber end up committing there?
Um, I would say, he had a lot of high major schools, and I would say for him choosing Rutgers, it was, that's a huge win for Rutgers, definitely. I would say with him, having the offers that he did was just that's kind of crazy that he committed there, but that shows how Rutgers is a great program and they have great coaches, and it's just a great program overall.
And some of the schools that have yet to offer you include, I mean, a lot of schools as well, but schools like Texas, Georgia, Temple, Purdue, a few other ones. Who you say are some of the schools right now that you think are the closest to giving you an offer?
Closest to give me an offer, I would say probably Purdue. They stay in contact. I recently just got a letter from them in the mail. Great little letter, just explaining the background of Purdue. Just telling me that they're interested. I would say Temple also. They stay in contact almost every day. I talk to the Temple coach, assistant coach. So I would say between them two, pretty pretty close to offering, I would say.
That's big time. And just take us through the process. I mean, what's it? I mean, how often, how quickly does the offer usually come? I mean, is it after you have to talk to them for a while, they start sending letters and stuff, or do they just offer you right in the spot?
So some of them were spot on. I would say UMass, University of Rhode Island. UMass was obviously my first offer. So I would say UMass, I was sort of psyched about. That was my first offer. That was at I think the end of freshman year. So I would say some of them are spot on. Some of them, you got to talk to them for a while. They want to get to know you, build a relationship. Then they offer you. But for the most part, Rutgers, UMass, and Rhode Island, I would say those sort of like spot talked to me than they offered. So I would say more of the higher schools, I would say the higher major schools, they sort of like want to build a relationship with you first, then offer you.
Hmm. Gotcha. And you talk about how UMass was your very first offer that came in. Take us to that day. What was it like when you heard that you're going to get that offer?
So basically, it was crazy because I had just woke up. It was a day after it was a sort of a live period. It was called the Knapsack Camp. So we had the Knapsack Camp the day before. That was my first time ever playing with New Hampton. So it was so it was on a Sunday. So we played Vermont Academy and Worcester Academy. We played them two teams on Sunday. I think the UMass coach was there. I wasn't thinking anything of it. There was plenty of coaches there. Um, and then the next day, Monday morning, I received a call from my coach, and he was just telling me that UMass wants to offer you. So obviously with that being my first offer, I was really excited, and I was just shocked because I've always been a underrated kid. A kid that no one really talked about. I mean, people talked about me, but it wasn't like someone that like he's nice, he get an offer like something like that. So I would say I was really shocked. I wasn't expecting it, but it sort of built my confidence, you know. So after I received that offer, I started thinking like, like, man, I could really, attract coaches. So I would say with me getting that offer, it built my confidence a lot.
And for a lot of guys, I know that first offer sometimes is school that they like to keep in the top, whatever group they narrow it down to. It's a 10, 8, 6, whatever. I mean, just because of the fact that they did impact you and they were the first one to do it, I mean, you kind of see that being a school you're probably going to go through with until possibly the very end.
Definitely, definitely.
That's big time. And I
Yep.
think the schools that you talked about that are showing interest in you, Texas, Georgia, Temple, I mean, Purdue, as you said as well. What are some of the schools? What's your relationship like with those schools, and what would you like to be about? What do you like about those programs?
So Temple, let's start off with Temple. Temple is a great program. You know, they have had a lot of players go through there. One of the things that stuck out to me about Temple was the first thing they said to me was we want to get you ready for the NBA. So for me, the NBA has always been a dream of mine, and I know it's a dream about a lot of hoopers, but definitely for me, that was one thing that stuck out to me, how they're already talking about prepping me for the NBA. So I would say that's major by Temple, that they have coaches that played in the NBA. They have staff that, been around players that, got to the league. So I would say with those two things, I would say that's the major thing for Temple right now. I haven't visited the campus. I'm pretty sure the campus is beautiful, but for me right now is just hearing them talk about how they want to make me better every day. So that's definitely one great plus to Temple.
That's awesome. And for you, when you look at these schools, what would you say is the biggest thing you want to see in a school that's going to help kind of like help you commit there eventually?
For me, I would say probably, a school that's gonna show the interest first. Show that first a coach that I could trust. You could say a coach that I could trust, a coach that I could always go to if I need anything, basketball related or not. Then obviously somewhere where you're gonna play. All these people want to go. All these kids want to go to high schools. The Dukes, Kentucky, stuff like that. But you don't know if you're gonna play there. So I would say not just looking at the name. I would say look at where you're gonna play, where you're gonna succeed at. So I would say for me, definitely where I'm gonna play and where I could build a great relationship with the coach.
Will staying close to home have any impact on your recruitment or decision?
For me, not really. My family is pretty flexible with me going anywhere. I go to New Hampton now. That's in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not too far from home, but I definitely would want to, probably go elsewhere. Don't really want to stay in New England. Probably somewhere like, hotter. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And when you talk about you're moving, obviously now you got New Hampton. Let's go through your high school career so far. Your freshman year, what was that first year like? Kind of getting accustomed to the high school way?
So for me, freshman year, I went to a junior boarding school called Fessenden, student boarding school. I would say we didn't really play a lot of competition, but we were definitely one of the toughest teams, I would say. I say we could have beat a lot of high school teams, honestly. We were pretty good. We had a couple kids from PSA. We had we had a kid from Rennes. So I would say for that first year, it definitely prepped me for New Hampton. I would say academically, we didn't play as good as competition, but we still stuck in the gym. So I would say that first year, my freshman year, it was definitely beneficial for me.
You take that jump then for your sophomore year and a move that I think a lot of people are starting to really go to the prep school to play the national schedule kind of way. You do that in New
Mhm.
Hampton, and you're also joined by Alex, who was on a little bit ago as well. What was
Yeah.
your guys' bond like? Did you guys kind of know each other prior to teaming up at New Hampton?
Yeah, so basically me and Alex, we played AAU together. So we played our eighth grade year. We both played up a little bit. For Peach Jam, we played together. So I would say, yeah, our eighth grade, we sort of grew closer. Then after that, we went to plenty of camps together. So I would say me and Alex's bond, between school and AAU is great. So I would say that's definitely someone I really want to, stay in contact with and stay, close with.
That's big time. And you guys go out there now. You guys are NEPSAC champions. You guys accomplished a lot, obviously, this first year. What would you say was the biggest thing, your biggest takeaway from your sophomore season?
Biggest takeaway, I would say, just pushing through hard times. Uh, during in the middle of the year, we had a sort of you could say a little bump, a little speed bump in the way. We lost like 4 or 5 games, and it was all back to back. So I would say to teams that I think we could have beat, and definitely my team thought we could have beat.
Mhm.
But I would say probably just working through, like, we work together. So I would say one of the biggest takeaways is, believing in ourselves and believing in our coach. Our coach definitely believed in us, which that was something that I love about my coach. He definitely believed in us when we didn't fully believe in ourselves, and he kept pushing us every day in practice to be the best we can be. So I would say the biggest takeaway for me is, pushing through hard times, pushing through adversity, and just, getting over that hump.
And so you going out your upperclassman years, your junior season's next. Hopefully, you guys get to play it, obviously. But what's the next
Mhm.
jump for you? What do you think you're capable of putting up next year?
First of all, I would say, around 20 points per game. I definitely, one thing I know I could do, I know I can score. I think the biggest thing for me is definitely, making my teammates better. So I would say not always just scoring, but, finding my teammates, doing the little things, not always just about scoring. So I would say, more assists, I would say this year. More assists, more rebounds, doing things that will help my team win, not just on the offensive side, but also on the defensive side. So that's blocks, steals, just doing everything.
And you were going to probably play with Expressions Elite again this summer, right?
Yes, definitely.
And so, I mean, if you guys get the opportunity to go out there and play this year, what do you want to accomplish? What do you kind of want to prove to everyone this year if you get to go out there and play?
I have a lot to prove. I've recently got ranked 142 in the country. That's I'm still blessed to be on the radar for a lot of these scouting websites. But I would say definitely show that I'm better than that. Definitely show that I can be way better than 142 in the country. So I would say just go out, show out. Also still be to myself, still be humble. You know what I mean? So I would say definitely show out, show what I could do, and prove everyone wrong.
And my last thing before I let you go is I know you want to build a legacy for yourself, both on the court and off of it. I mean, by the time you step away from this game in the future, what do you want that legacy to be?
That legacy, I want to be that kid, that works hard, that's underrated. Like I honestly like being underrated. I like being underrated because it pushes me. It gives me an extra drive. So I would say I would like to be that kid that started off as the underrated kid, worked hard, and got to the point where everyone knows him. Everyone knows him. Everyone knows he plays hard, and just be that type of kid. No one, that people really knew about. And yeah, I would say that's about it.
That's big time, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on, my guy, and look forward to seeing when you get back on the court again.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. You always welcome on, bro. God bless.
Okay. See you.
See you, bro.